Hey, lovely friends. Okay, this week, again, it's not been massively boiling this week. It's been just kind of nice. I've got some summery stuff here, some kind of nice freshies. And I also went to test a load of stuff this week. Well, I didn't, well, I mean, I smelt a lot of stuff in John Lewis, basically, because I went in there to look for some specific things I didn't have. So I just had a little bit of a wander. So I'll do that bit at the end. Thank you to everyone who has left questions for me on my community page so that I can record a kind of celebration of having 2,000 subscribers. So I will make that video as soon as possible. I'll let you guys know when I'm doing it so that no new questions go up. But I'll just get on with this now. So you might have noticed I've been putting up some videos of my little Hermes samples. So I made those videos well over a year ago. I think I made them in kind of springtime last year. So it took me by the time I'd got ready to actually put them up on YouTube, it was cold weather, so I thought I would keep them until summer this year because the Le Jardin perfumes, they're really summery. But while I was doing those, there were two that I really quite liked, and I then put up a little what's it called, like a little thing on eBay, so that when perfumes came up I can look at them, and if there's anything that's a good price I can bid on them and whatever. So I now have a couple of the Jardin collections. I never would spend Hermes prices on them. I wouldn't spend anything over £40, and it would have to be a 50ml, like, because I'm not spending £40 on a 30ml of such light perfumes. But anyway, so I didn't bother putting up my little videos of the ones that I have because I thought, now I've actually got them, I can do them with the bottles. So my favourite from the whole collection by far is Le Jardin de Monsieur. So I got this lovely 50ml bottle on eBay. I think I got it for about 35, which I was very happy about. But it literally took me almost a year to find some of these perfumes. I only went for two, and they were both under £40. Otherwise I wouldn't have bought them. But this is the Kumquat and Jasmine perfume. So beautiful bottle, as you can see. The Cerisier, that's I've still got that little review to come up, but that one has a kind of similar bottle, but with a bit more of a kind of browny orange tinge. But it's quite similar looking to this one. How do you even describe what this perfume smells like? This is such a strange one because I find this perfume so easy to wear. It's very much in my wheelhouse of the kind of light, summery, floral, fruity, watery perfumes that I quite enjoy. But it's also really unusual. Like, I wouldn't really know what to tell you to buy as a cheap alternative to this, because there is something in this. This is kind of a weird smell. But there is something very unusual and interesting in this that isn't necessarily explained in the notes. So let me just get the notes for you. In fact, the Le Jardin de Monsieur notes are kumquat, jasmine, mint and green sap. Now I have a perfume with kumquat in that I love, which is Guess Dare. It's amazing. And in terms of kumquat notes, it has got a few overlaps there, and my husband has the Kumquat and Myrrh perfume from 4711 from the Acqua Colonia range, and they all have this specific smell, which I do think is down to the kumquat, with slightly unusual fruit, really, really pretty smell, something slightly unusual about it. And I think it's more of almost like a peach skin, but without the tanginess kind of texture to it. But this definitely has a tanginess to it. There's definitely a fruitiness here. Now, if you've been watching me for a while, if you're one of my loyal subscribers from old, you'll know that I'm really fussy about jasmine. And this does not come across to me like a regular jasmine. This has a very natural spring floral smell to it, without obviously, to me, smelling like jasmine. And they describe it, I think, on Hermes, because I have the carded... I've got the carded sample somewhere. I should have brought it to this. Brought it to this as if this is a show and tell. It kind of is, though, isn't it? But they describe it as a vegetal jasmine, I think, and it has. It's got, I don't know. This also has mint and green sap, so maybe it's the sap. There is a freshness from this coming from the mint, and I friggin' love mint in a perfume. I love a minty perfume. It doesn't have to be obvious, but sometimes I would say in this, if I hadn't have said there's mint in this, I don't know whether it would have been recognisable as mint rather than it just gives a beautiful, fresh, summery feel. But yeah, I mean, I just find this one it was so easy to wear. You do have to respray it. It's not the strongest. But I mean, I could smell it as a skin scent for a while, but I think Monsieur is one of the lightest in the Jardin collection, because the other one that I've actually got Sur l'Etoile. That one, it lasts on my skin forever. Like, there's something in that one that just makes it hold on. It's not massively strong, but it really holds on. And is it the one that's called Lagoon in the brownish bottle? That one lasts for ages as well, and it's actually surprisingly strong. So this, I think, might be the lightest I've smelt from that collection, but it's just really pretty. And I would say it doesn't smell exactly the same. They're different fruits, but my Starfruit and White Flowers from Acqua Colonia gives me a similar feeling to wearing this one. I feel like there is a crossover in the general feel of how those two wear. So that would be my suggestion if you wanted something that felt like this. But I think my love of that perfume is what makes this one so easy for me to wear. Just such a joy, and I love smelling this one from the bottle as well. It's really fresh and pretty, and it's such a perfect summer scent. But yeah, I mean, it's like annoyingly expensive for what they are, so definitely worth looking to get them secondhand. Or if you're willing to like get a 30ml, you can get them definitely on from some like grey market sellers. You can get them for like £42 or something. But I was quite determined to get bigger than 30ml if I was going to spend that much money. So that's just me. All right, next up, had this one for ages. They have a different like flanker of the original Cerisier from L'Occitane, like most years, but this is the one that I just really fell in love with. I got this in the sale. It's definitely worth checking L'Occitane's website after Christmas, because they will often have a sale and they'll often be selling their specials, if you see what I mean. They're like limited edition ones off for cheaper. So I got this for like 25 quid. And it's a very soapy, almost shampooey, but not so shampooey that it's a problem for me. Cherry blossom. I mean, what else is in here? It's got water flowers and green notes in the top. Cherry blossom, geranium and tuberose in the mid, and then musk and white cedar extract in the base. So this one's called Cerisier Etoile from L'Occitane. I can't pronounce things, so forgive me. So when I first spray this one, I'm always like, and actually when I sniff it from the bottle as well, I'm always like, it's quite shampooey, am I in the mood? And I always have to remind myself that as soon as this properly dries down, it's not shampooey anymore. It's a little bit more of a kind of musky, like bar soapy soap, rather than like a shampooey detergenty soap. And it is so pretty. It's like a really gentle cherry blossom with, I would say, the shampooiness is probably coming from those water flowers. But I think there's something about the tuberose in this that's stopping it going too far down that kind of water lily scent, because I don't love water lily. And like water flowers, often I do find a bit shampooey. You know what this reminds me of a tiny bit? And well, I should say that reminds me of this. Boom Savon. So if you can imagine a cherry blossom version of Boom Savon, which is about £7, it's this kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, I would say the original cherry blossom's really nice. I actually just gave that one to my sister because I preferred this. But yeah, let me put it like that so you can actually see it. But I think I always like the L'Occitane cherry blossom ones. I'm very irritated because online and in many other L'Occitane shops, they seem to have the strawberry one, which is the one they've got this year, which is strawberry and cherry blossom. And I really want to smell that. So I was down at Piccadilly Circus earlier this week, it must have been, and I thought, I basically got stranded because there was a problem at Oxford Circus, so I ended up going down that way, and I was like, okay, I'll just get on at Piccadilly Circus and get the tube from there. And I thought, oh, well, if I've got to walk down Regent Street, I might as well go to the big L'Occitane. They had a, what do they call, like a flagship store. And it's gone. It wasn't there. I looked it up on Google and it's gone. So I was really sad because that was the place that you could go to really smell like a much bigger range. There's a tiny L'Occitane quite near where I work, but it's a very, very small shop, so they don't really have a massive range of their perfumes. They don't necessarily have all of them, but I will go there and try again. But yeah, they don't have it on the website. I'm like, oh, come on, everyone's going to love a strawberry cherry blossom, aren't they? I really want to smell that one. Anyway. If you want a nice, cheap, soapy, almost bubble bathy, maybe that's how I'll say it, like a bubble bathy, florally scent, then Boom Savon is a really good option. But this one obviously has that added cherry blossom, so it's a little bit more on the kind of springtime fun side. But yeah, it's super pretty, really nice. Definitely worth looking on eBay and Vinted and that kind of thing, because I see the Cerisier perfumes, the cherry blossom L'Occitane perfumes, all the time. Like, they've got so many of them on eBay and you can easily get them for like 25 quid. All right. Okay. I don't want you guys to get bored of me talking about this, but I'm obsessed with this perfume. Well, this general profile. And I think that I can wear this at any time and I want to wear it quite a lot. And I've had to move this out of my kind of sweet vanilla caramel perfume section that I've got and into my easy reach perfumes, because I'm obsessed with it and it's a massively easy reach because it's just a very light green vanilla. And the other thing I noticed about this, so this is Eau Duelle, this is the EDT version. Oh, look. Oh no, it's getting a bit cut off, but I'm sorry about that. We shall have to deal with it. So the EDT Eau Duelle, I do think is slightly more vanillic than the EDP. I think there's something about the smokiness in that, where maybe it's just, I don't know, how it like dries down. But I think I get a little bit more of a vanilla-y, maybe sugariness from this one. And maybe it's slightly more creamy, but got a little bit smoky in the other. But as I've said before, they're so similar. Like, they're almost interchangeable, to be honest. It's light, it definitely is. But what I was thinking the other day was that I wore it to work and I resprayed it a few times because I'm obsessed and I love it. But it is light, but I could still smell it when I woke up in the morning. So I was thinking to myself, like, I'd been wearing it throughout the day and I didn't respray it before I went to bed or anything, but I resprayed it when I got home in the evening because I was hanging out with my husband and I literally said to him, I was like, oh, I just can't get enough. And when I went to bed, I could still smell the vanilla very clearly on my skin. And then when I woke up in the morning, I was thinking, oh, why do I smell like vanilla? I smell so yummy. And I realised it's because I could still smell the Eau Duelle. So it lasts as a skin scent for a really long time, but I think it's quite subtle. Do you know what I mean? And this one is bourbon vanilla, elemi resin, cardamom, juniper, pink pepper, olibanum, black tea. Mwah. I love tea perfumes. Bergamot, ambergris, musk and saffron. I mean, to be honest, quite a lot of my easy reaches are tea perfumes. So I feel like things that have tea in are so often really easy to wear. I just love them. All right. Speaking of obsessed, I just wanted to wear this all week. It was a hot morning. I wanted something really fresh. I was only intending to wear it in the morning and I just wore it all day because I'm obsessed. I love this. And the thing is, I love Born Lovely. I love the bottle of Born Lovely. And this is annoying me, so I'm just going to maybe... Is that all wonky now? Sorry if it's gone wonky, guys. But yeah, there you go. It was getting on my nerves. I love how the bottle looks. I love how the bottle smells. But for some reason, the Born Lovely in the body spray version, I think is even more beautiful because I think it's even more feminine. Reason being, I think this doesn't have the base notes in quite the strength that the perfume version does. So you're getting more of the kind of sweet girly notes here. Oh, I love this. I love this. And like, it's crazy because I've got a tiny bit of a dent in this, but I've worn this quite a lot and I do go ham with it. I guess it's, how big is this thing? Oh, it's 236 mils. That's why it doesn't look like I've made a huge dent. But I also could very happily spray this all over my house. I would love for my house to smell like Born Lovely. And do you know what's really interesting? Last week I was talking about A Lovely Summer, right? Which I think genuinely smells like an Egyptian musk to me, like a warm, golden, spicy, like woody, dry musk. And it really reminds me of wild musk, right? But then on Fragrantica, they finally put it on. So I've been really interested to see what the votes are on it and like what people are saying. And people are comparing it to Born Lovely. And I don't get it. I do not get that crossover at all. I think this is a fresh gym scent. That's what this smells like to me. It smells like clean clothes. It smells like wet laundry. It smells so fresh and summery. This would make sense to me in the turquoise bottle. Like, that's what I feel about this one. Whereas A Lovely Summer really doesn't at all smell like a freshie to me. It actually smells like a cuddle. That's what I think A Lovely Summer smells like. It smells like, I would have called it Lovely Skin or Lovely Embrace. Like, that's what that smells like to me. This one I happily could have called Lovely Summer. Like, that's, I don't know. But yeah, it's so interesting that people are getting a crossover, because I'm not getting a crossover at all. I feel like they don't smell like they're related, and I also feel like Born Lovely doesn't smell like it's related to the original Lovely, whereas Lovely Summer I feel has more in common, because it still smells like a kind of skin scent musk, the same way Lovely does. It's just like, it's less of a white musk, like a sharp white musk with sharp tart. It's got more of like a kind of cedar woody, patchouli smell, that one, and like a tart citrus smell. And Lovely Summer has much more of a kind of warm spice sandalwood smell, you know, with like an Egyptian golden musk. Anyway, that is my opinion. Obviously, other people are not agreeing with me, so it's really, really interesting. Anyway, the notes for this, oh, I love it. Peony, cassis, mandarin orange in the top. I think the peony and the cassis are the biggest things here, but I'm sure the mandarin is helping with the freshness. Then you've got freesia, orange blossom and honeysuckle in the middle. I don't know what those guys are doing, but they are turning the peony into something magical. And then cedar, patchouli and caramel in the base. So wearing this body spray as opposed to my perfume, I get less of the cedar and I get less of the patchouli. And I don't get a huge amount of that in the perfume anyway, but this, and also a slightly more recognisable caramel, I think, because you've got less of those more kind of earthy, woody base notes. I love it. And I feel like you're going to keep seeing this one this summer, because it's so easy to wear. It's so lush. So I would almost say, I think I'll probably go to using Born Lovely from the bottle, like in colder weather, when that anchor in the base is going to be a bit more like handy. And this is just going to be what I wear in these warmer months, because, oh, it's so beautiful. And obviously perfect if you spray it on clothes and stuff. It lasts quite well. It's not that different in strength and longevity to me than the perfume, but some people can't smell that perfume. So I think some people are slightly anosmic to it. Oh, just absolutely lush. Anyway, I've been talking about it for ages. I just love it. Love it. Okay. Did you guys watch my video this week with my gorgeous husband? It's so funny. Sometimes I rewatch those and I'm like, his voice is so deep sometimes that, like, I can almost not understand it. So I hope you guys can understand it. I hope also that you can put the automatic subtitles on if you can't. Like, honestly, first thing in the morning, sometimes he talks to me and I have to say to him, "Hon, I can't, like, speak up. I can't hear what you're saying," because his voice just is so deep first thing in the morning. Oh, anyway, he really liked this one and he said he'd wear this, and it's really interesting to me because I find this one very feminine, but he didn't think it smelled feminine. So this is Pure Grace Pop of Sun. He thought this one smelled really unisex, but I find this one really kind of feminine. But again, maybe that's just because I have, like, it sort of smells like a fruity cocktail in a way, but it's also very floral to me. It smells not exactly the same, but what I do is when I want to use, what is it called? The Moisture Whip moisturizer from Coco and Eve. When I want to use either of those, actually, one is actually mango and one is dragon fruit, I think. The dragon fruit is my favourite, but they both have a crossover smell quite similar. When I want to use that, it's such a strong scent. I need something that's going to either go with it perfectly or just, like, pull out one of the notes, if you see what I mean. because it will totally overpower anything else. It's such a strong, you can wear it as a perfume, that's how strong that moisturizer is. This is similar to it, and it really like goes well. So I had that on my legs, and then I thought, oh, I'll put this one on. And it's very pretty. It's got there's something, and I was trying to describe it when I first got it. There's a strange bitterness in this, and I was trying to work out what it was. Like, is it a wood? Is there an aroma chemical that I'm picking up? What is it? There's an odd bitter touch here. And I found the full set of notes, and now I understand what that's coming from, so I can explain it a bit better. So the full set of notes for this are pink pomelo, you can smell that definitely. Passion fruit, yes, coconut water, you definitely can sense coconut water. It's giving it that kind of slightly creamy, lotiony scent. Tangerine, apple blossom, you get the apple blossom, absolutely. You definitely get some of that tiger orchid. You get some, I think tonka bean vanilla is just warming it up, making it a little bit sweet. There's sandalwood. There's also matcha in this, and I think that's the bitterness I'm getting. The slightly unusual bitter tanning tea kind of thing that you get with matcha. Yeah, it makes more sense to me now. I'm like, okay, yeah, there's a matcha note. All right, yeah, I get it. There's definitely like a slightly coconut water, slight creaminess when mixed with that vanilla. And it just really reminds me of the Cocoa and Eve Moisture Whip. So yeah, that was a really fun one to wear. It's not one I don't get the urge to smell like this all the time, because it is a very fruity, lotiony scent. But when I was in the mood for it, it's perfect. It's definitely not like an easy reach for me, because lotiony perfumes aren't an easy reach for me. But this is like very summery, very happy. And I have to say, I can't imagine my husband smelling like this. I find this one very, not very unisex and much more feminine. But it's interesting, isn't it? Like he didn't feel that at all. But yeah, I think if he like approached me and he smelt like this, I would be like, why are you wearing a lady's perfume? I really do think that. But I don't think he would think that if he smelt a man wearing this. So yeah, there you go. Different noses, isn't it? Oh, speaking of hubby, I gave him my CK1 Gold, and he wore it yesterday, and he smelled incredible in it. And very interestingly, on my skin, the vetiver comes out so strong that it smells masculine to me. And on him, it smelled almost a little bit more unisex, because it made the fig even more fruity. So when I was sniffing him, I didn't recognise it immediately. I was like, oh, what are you wearing? You smell really good. You smell fruity. And he said, oh, that one you just gave me. And I was like, oh, the fig in it. I think, I don't know if there's like a citrus in there as well or something, but it definitely turned into something a bit more fruity and tangy than it does when it's on me, where it goes almost a bit darker and a bit more vetivery. So yeah, he smells amazing in it, and I highly recommend it to anyone who likes masculine-leaning unisex scents, or any men who watch this. I think that CK1 Gold is absolutely scrumptious. He smells so good in it, and I just like the smell generally, so I'm so glad that he was wearing that, and I'm glad that he likes it, because I want to smell him in that, so that's good news. Especially because I swear he'll run out of my favourite soon, which is the Acqua Colonia Blackberry and Cocoa, and that was a limited edition. You can't get it anymore, so when that's gone, it's going to be heartbreaking. I love that one. Speaking of fig, alright, this is new in my collection, and this is very affordable, so I thought I'd try it. So, and also because this is another old school Francis Kirk de Jean perfume. So obviously this was like in his green tea days, and I think you can tell it's in his green tea days. There's a certain signature going on here. I think this is, yeah, these are little 30ml bottles. This is Roger and Gallet, or I don't know if this is maybe, yeah, French, so it might be Roger Gallet or something like that. I can't say it, I'm afraid. Fleur de Figuier. So this is tangy. There's a tanginess in this that's really interesting. And I can sense the fig, but this is a more feminine fig, I'd say, although this is definitely a unisex scent. It's a cute bottle, isn't it? Let me read you the notes. I'm still trying to work out how I feel about this, because there's something in here. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I feel like there's missing notes here. So this has mandarin orange, grapefruit and cumin in the top. It's got middle notes of fig and fig leaf, base notes of fig nectar, cedar and musk. But there's flowers in here. I can smell flowers. I'm definitely getting a very strong floral note mixed in with very tangy, slightly acidic and unsweetened citrus. And then a slightly earthy but sweet, pretty green fig. It's definitely a lovely perfume, perfect for summer. It doesn't actually smell like Elizabeth Arden green tea fig, because it doesn't have the same earthy, slightly muddy smelling fig that one had, which I didn't like that one. But it very much smells like this could be a flanker of green tea. And I tend not to love flankers of green tea because I don't think any of them smell as nice as green tea. And I think what is throwing me slightly here is the florals. I think the florals are just sort of okay in this. I mean, it is called Fleur de Figuier, so, I mean, fair enough. Yeah, so what I'm saying is that I quite like this one, but I don't love it. It's not, I think of it, it's one that if I'd have been able to test it rather than blind buying the little bottle, then I probably wouldn't have bought the full bottle, because it's a little bit tangy in a way that I think some people maybe could find a bit sickly, but it's not so strong that it's bothersome, if you see what I mean. I do think if you really like floral perfumes and fig perfumes and you want a beautiful freshie, then this could be a really good option. But for me personally, this just made me think to myself, I wish I'd worn the Tocca. I just wish I'd worn my Tocca Lucia, or Lucia, however you're supposed to sell that one, because that is a fig perfume that there's just something about that really like just hits all the right notes for me. This one I'm not so keen on. Like, don't get me wrong, like if I didn't have a massive collection, I would definitely keep this. But because I have a massive collection, I'm not sure that it's one that I'm going to reach for. However, saying that, there's nothing in this that is like really bothersome to me. There's nothing that smells too chemically. I mean, I think this is quite an old perfume. I don't know if it's from like the 90s, but it's probably from the early 2000s or something, before Francis Cotillon had his own house. But I'd really like to try some of the other ones in this collection from this house, I mean. So there's I think it's called Gingembre Rouge or something. And there's what's it called? An Osmanthus one I really want to try. There's a tea one I really want to try. It's because basically, although this one may not be the one for me, it's giving me a vibe that the house might have some stuff that I like. So I am planning to investigate a bit further on that one. But I think in terms of a fig perfume, I think I just so much prefer the Tocca one that I've got, that I just feel like if I want to wear a summery fig perfume, there's something about the tobacco in that one that just takes it to like another level. So in terms of like a cheapie for a freshie, I'd rather just reach for literal green tea, to be honest, or something like that. Okay, this one is not a cheapie, but you can get it at the moment. You can get a 50ml bottle in the UK for I think £42. I think it's on Look Incredible. This is Tocca Simone. I'm obsessed with this perfume and I love it, and I'm so glad that I bought it because this is one of my like easiest reaches at the moment. I'm really craving wearing it a lot. It's a musky watermelon perfume, but it's very light and pretty, and it's very fresh and very easy to wear. And I think one of the reasons that I'm craving it a lot is because I currently have a shower gel from a company that I've completely forgotten the name of, I'm afraid, but it's like a watermelon one, but it's very floral as well. It's got a sweet watermelon and then there's flowers in it too. And every time I use that, it makes me want to wear this. They don't smell exactly the same at all, but because this is watermelon and florals and that one's watermelon and florals, whenever I use it in the shower, I'm like, I should wear Simone today. And then when I put it on, I just love how I smell. It's light, it has a small scent bubble for sure, but it lasts quite a long time on me. I can smell it on my own skin for a long time and I can smell it on myself. But I know that it's not going to be one that like fills a room. It's quite subtle. Okay, so this is watermelon, apple and lemon. You get the apple for sure and you get the watermelon, but it's quite a subtle watermelon. It's not like the pinkest bit of the watermelon. It's not the Jolly Rancher watermelon. It's more like a little bit of the watermelon with a little bit of the rind. It's like that wateriness you get with watermelon without too much of that slightly unusual melon scent that you get with it. Middle notes of freesia, frangipani, rose and ylang ylang. Absolutely gorgeous florals. I think freesia might be the strongest here, which is why I'm getting a bar soapy vibe from it mixed with the musk. So base is musk, woody notes and amber, but I mean it's mainly musky, appley, watermelon and freesia. I did maybe get a tiny bit of rose, a little bit of frangipani. I'm not getting a huge amount of ylang ylang, but again, I think it's just really nicely blended. I'm not really sure if you gave this to me without the notes, whether I'd be like, oh, that really smells like this. I might recognise the freesia because it's kind of sitting there in my mind next to some of my other favourite floral fruity musks. So Modern Princess, which is musk, freesia and red apple. I can't remember. What's the other freesia one I'm thinking of? I'm getting mixed up. Oh yeah, what am I talking about? Lanvin, which is freesia and blackberry, raspberry, like, oh, so, and very musky, totally lush. It's like, I think I said it last time, it's almost as if this is like a watermelon version of Modern Princess, and I love Modern Princess, which I think is why I love this one so much. So I love this. I really like Tocca as a house. They're one of the more expensive houses that have kind of captured my heart, both in their bottles and in their scents, same as Diptyque. And they both make quite subtle light perfumes, which I do appreciate. So very, very nice. Gorgeous, in fact. I love them. I think it's so pretty. But my cheaper alternative to it is just going to remain for now as Adidas Get Ready. That one is slightly more Jolly Rancherous, but it's also lightly floral with a sweet watermelon kind of fruitiness and then a musky base, and it's not quite as complicated as this one. There's not quite as many notes, but I really like that one as well. And I was actually going to wear that one the other day. I'm just overexcited because this is new, so this is the one that I keep reaching for, but I was going to wear that one as well. I think I'm in a watermelon mood. There's I've got Boom Rainbow, but that one's quite sweet, so that one I'm not reaching for quite as much. That's watermelon. But there's another watermelon one I've been looking at. I'll have to get back to you because I think there's another one on my horizons where I'm like, maybe I should try that one. That's got watermelon in it. Anyway, what have we got here? Oh yeah, this one was in the video as well, I think. I mean, I just needed a clean, lovely, luscious, clean laundry smell. And so I wore Simply Clean by Classic, Clean Classic. Sadly, you can't get this one anymore. Like I said last time, you can get the clean laundry and lavender nowadays in I think it's an eau de toilette, which is the one that I have an eau fraiche version of. But they seem to have brought that out as an actual perfume now in a normal size perfume bottle. So as the eau fraiche smells like a not as sweet and obviously lighter version of this, I mean, I think you could probably try that one. Or to be honest, any of the clean ones that are like warm cotton or the original, excuse me, I've got hiccups, the original clean. It just smells like clean laundry and it is so lush, and I love the fact that it has lavender in it because I love lavender. The notes here are bergamot, cardamom and lavender in the top, mimosa, fresh laundry accord, aquatic blossom in the mid, and then hinoki wood, whitewood and heliotrope in the base. And yeah, I mean, I can't say much more about it other than it just smells like clean laundry without being too soapy. It's a little bit more powdery, but doesn't have a detergency smell. It smells very soft and kind of fluffy, but then it's got lavender in it. It's just really pretty. It's just so nice. All right, I think that's everything I actually wore, and then I've got a few things that I smelt in store. So let's start with, I can still smell this one from Hermes. I smelled a couple of things at Hermes. So this is L'Ombre des Merveilles from Hermes. So the one in the cool, like, leaning to one side round bottle, and this is the one with the dark blue at the bottom. They only list here black tea, incense and tonka bean. I feel like there's much more going on here that it doesn't say. It smells really tangy at first, so I feel like there's definitely some kind of fruit in here. Yeah, it would have to be like black tea with a slice of lemon or something. And what I'm getting when I first smelt this is it really smelled like white wine to me. That was the kind of scent I was getting. Then the smoky facet of this comes through later on, and I was kind of torn between thinking it smells a bit burnt rubbery, but I think it's just got like it's got a perfumey smokiness in this. The tonka bean is stopping this from being too sharp, but it definitely starts off being very tangy, a little bit acidic. And the black tea obviously has that lovely kind of aromatic feel to it. Is aromatic the right word for tea? I can't remember, but I don't think I'd say herbaceous. I think aromatic is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, the incense is just a bit smoky. There's definitely a sweetness. I do feel like there's fruitiness that isn't listed, but I do think it's pretty. Very unisex. Possibly the smokiness makes this feel a little bit masculine to me. But it's a very watery, fresh, pretty, interesting perfume. It's one of those weird ones that it's like smelling it doesn't make me think, oh my God, I've never smelled anything that's in the realm of this. But at the same time, I wouldn't be able to tell you something that really genuinely smells like this. So it's got a uniqueness going on here. Actually, in the same way that the Jardin, so I think generally, none of them smell like, to me, oh my God, I've never smelled anything even in the realm of this before. Like, it's unusual or difficult for me to deal with or whatever. But also, I can't tell you anything that really properly smells like it, unlike most modern perfumes, which when I smell them, I'm like, that smells like this. Or nearly everything smells like Paradox, or some facet of the millions of perfumes that Paradox smells like. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, quite original, quite interesting. I quite like that one. I wouldn't want a bottle of it. It's not one that I feel like I need to wear, but I like it. I also tested out Cheirosa 59 from Sol de Janeiro. So someone in my comments, shout out to whoever it was if you're still watching me, suggested that I would like and should try Cheirosa 59, which is the purple bottle Sol de Janeiro body spray, because it's like a kind of sugary violet scent. And I do quite like violet. So when I saw it and saw, I've been looking for it for ages. I've never seen it in store with a tester before. So I went and had a look, and I saw it and I sprayed it out and I couldn't smell it. And I thought, that's weird. But it's a body spray and I was in a store. So I was like, I'm just going to risk it. I'm going to spray it on my skin. So I sprayed it on my arm. And honestly, like, firstly, it got quite strong and then it lasted forever. I was honestly, it was still sugary sweet on my arm when I woke up the next day. It didn't smell like anything other than like a sugary sweetness the next day. You couldn't tell that it was a specific perfume, but the sweetness stayed. It really hung around. It just smells almost identical to my Vera Wang Periwinkle and Iris perfume, which has a lot of violet in it. That one has sugar and whipped cream and violets, and it's very, very pretty, and it's slightly powdery. And I have a bottle of that, and I have a little backup bottle of it as well, because I've only got a 30ml, and I really like that perfume. It's very sweet. And honestly, Cheirosa 59 smells almost exactly the same as that one to my nose. So, yeah, I mean, Cheirosa 59 is vanilla, orchid, sugar, violet, and sandalwood. So it's got the powderiness, it's got the sugariness, it's got the violet, and instead of iris, it's got vanilla orchid. But they are so similar. So it's the only Cheirosa from Sol de Janeiro that I would actually consider buying. I wouldn't wear it in hot weather though, because it was way too sweet for me. It was driving me slightly nuts because it was so sugary. But I actually like it. I think it's a really pretty perfume. I would definitely wear that in colder weather if I didn't already have something that smells almost exactly the same. So I don't need it personally. But it does mean that I can now start putting my Vera Wang perfume into things, because I have an alternative to it. So when I wear that one, I'll be able to say, I love this, guys. It smells like this. You can get Cheirosa 59 and you'll get exactly the same experience. So that is very good news to me. What else did I try? Oh, yeah. So I went past Diptyque, obviously. And I tried Fleur de Peau, which has been on my list to test for ages. I'll just read you notes and I'll talk about it. So top notes: aldehydes, pink pepper, angelica and bergamot. Middle notes: iris and Turkish rose. Base notes, musk, ambrette, carrot, ambergris, sandalwood, leather, and amberwood. So the amberwood was the thing that I was like, often amberwood is a disaster for me, and it's one of the things that smells a bit tarry and gross. But it didn't. It smelled lovely. So my notes on Fleur de Peau say, and it's an EDP. I don't think I've ever seen an EDT of Fleur de Peau. If they used to do it, I don't think they do it anymore, because they only have the EDP in either of the stores that I've seen it in. So I've written soft and heavenly skin scent. God damn it, Diptyque, I want this. This is what I wanted Eau Papier to smell like from Diptyque. I feel like this is how Glossier You smells to people who like Ambroxan. So it definitely is in that same powdery, irisy, papery skin scent that I think is the idea of Glossier You. But I didn't really like Glossier You when I tried it, and that was a very long time ago. But now I know I'm really sensitive to lots of Ambroxan, and there's a lot of Ambroxan in that perfume. So I feel like Fleur de Peau is giving me the feels the way that other people have the feels for either Glossier You or Papier from Diptyque. So Papier I don't like. There's something in that perfume that smells like wet cardboard to me, and it just has this, again, it has like more of a tarry, rubbery, bad smell than I think other people get in it. So I know it's supposed to smell papery, but I just don't, like I said, more cardboardy to me, more synthetic, and I don't like it. Whereas Fleur de Peau feels like elements of what I like in Papier, with all the bits I don't like taken away, and then a beautiful kind of irisy, earthy smell added in. I think it's really pretty. I've already got a thing up on eBay to see if anyone wants to sell it to me for cheap, or if I can maybe get, like, sometimes people sell off the 10 mils that they get in sets, so maybe I'll try and get one of those, because it's really pretty. It would be such an easy reach skin scent, you know, when you didn't know what else to put on, the same way things like Glossier You are. So yeah, that was delicious. Next up, what's this one? Oh yeah, I have never been able to get a sample of the Hermes Jardin Mediterranean. Is it called Mediterranean or Mediterranean? It's in a blue bottle, and I've never been able to get a sample of it. I thought it was discontinued, but they had it in John Lewis, so I was like, oh, I'm just going to spray that one out and have a sniff. So the notes of that one are bergamot, lemon, and mandarin orange in the top, orange blossom, white Nerium oleander. I don't even know what that is. I've never even heard of that before, but it's some kind of very pretty little pink flower. Base notes, fig leaf, cypress, red cedar, juniper, pistachio, and musk. This one smells summery, but it smells quite masculine to me. I think of all of the Jardin perfumes I've smelt from Hermes, which I think now I've smelt that one, I've smelt all of them. Yeah, it smells like the most masculine to me. It's not one that I would wear. It's got quite a pretty fig note, but I think the cypress and red cedar and the juniper are the strongest things in that perfume to me. It's the things that are coming through a lot that make it smell a little bit more like a cologne. So personally, I wouldn't wear that one. It's perfectly pretty though. I'd like to smell it on my lovely husband. Okay, and then yeah, so I forgot to mention, the reason I went into John Lewis in the first place is because I wanted to smell the Gucci Gorgeous Orchid, and I wanted to smell YSL Libre Flowers and Flames, but they didn't have either of them. So I've actually just ordered Gucci Gorgeous Orchid from Small Aromas, just a little sample of it to smell. But I can't get hold of, I don't think Libre Flowers and Flames is out in the UK yet, so I haven't been able to smell that one yet. But the thing that I did see that obviously everyone was reviewing this, I don't know if everyone just bought them or loads of people had them in PR, but everyone was talking about the Charlotte Tilburys, right? I went to have a sniff. I thought I would sniff them from the bottle, and then anything that I was interested in, I'd spray on cards so I could talk to you a bit more in depth. So, the first one I smelled was called More Sex. That's the one in the red bottle. It's pure tar. Smelled like tar. Just a chemical mess. Hated it. So, top notes, black pepper, juniper berries. Middle notes, leather musk, aldron, which is some kind of molecule, and ambroxan, which, as I've said, I don't like. Base notes, musk, sandalwood and amberwood, and it smells like the kind of amberwood that smells like tar, and it's just smell like tar. Slightly sweet and musky tar, absolutely rancid in my humble opinion. And then I smelled Love Frequency, which is the pink one. That was pink pepper, rose, saffron, musk, patchouli, amberwood and cashmere wood. Smelled like tar. Rose and tar. Rose, patchouli and tar. Disgusting. Hated it. Chemical mess. Oh dear. Cosmic Power by Charlotte Tilbury. Cinnamon, black pepper, elemi, bergamot. This is purple bottle, by the way. Frankincense and rose in the mid. And then amber, vanilla, powdery, musk in the base. I thought it smelled quite vintage. I didn't really like it. Again, it had a bit of a horrible synthetic-y, rubbery smell to it, but not like nowhere near as much as the others. The other two that I just mentioned. And I was trying to think what it reminded me of. It smelled kind of old school to me. And then I had a look in its top comparison with Shalimar. And I'm like, I don't think it smells exactly like Shalimar. I mean, I've only ever had the EDT of that. But I don't think it smells exactly like that. But a little bit in that kind of realm. So if you like things like Shalimar, that might be a good one for you. But I mean, I just don't recommend the sex one or the pink one, so the red or the pink one, because I think they both smell like chemicals really badly. Okay, so the turquoisey bottle, it's called Calm Bliss. Neroli, bergamot and lavender in the top, watery notes, orange blossom in the mid, and then cashmere wood, ambergris, palo santo and olibanum in the base. This one I thought was a bit better. It still kind of smelled like something else, and again I sort of was going home sniffing and thinking, what is this one? What is this one? And then the comparisons on Fragrantica, the top comparison is Libre Platine, and I have a sample of that. It's sort of a little bit in that, because it's got that orange blossom lavender kind of scent, but it's a bit thinner, I think, and a bit more watery. It's also compared to Cool Water by Davidoff. I really don't like Cool Water by Davidoff. It's one of those sweet powdery aquatics that I don't like. But I think maybe like a cross between the two, and you're getting something like Calm Bliss. It's okay. It's not one I would wear myself, but I think it's quite pretty. It's all right. Not bad. Magic Energy. That's the green bottle. That's bergamot, myrtle in the top, cypress, seaweed, jasmine, sambac, palo santo, frankincense and ambergris in the mid. Oh, no, wait, sorry. Cypress, seaweed and jasmine in sambac in the mid. Palo santo, frankincense, ambergris and cashmere wood in the base. And again, I was like, I kind of feel like I've smelt it, but I don't know what it is. It's been compared to Santal 33, and I'm like, maybe in that kind of realm. I don't really remember. Yeah, I mean, again, it wasn't one that blew me away. I was just like, yeah, it's kind of, that's okay, that's all right. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I wouldn't have bothered with any of them. They were all okay. Nothing was particularly special, except for, and I say special, I wouldn't wear it because I think it's got a little bit of that tariness in it. So the one that I actually sprayed on card is Joyphoria. The way that I know there's just a tiny bit of that kind of tarry smell in here is that it's sort of what I can still smell on this. But this was interesting because Joyphoria, although it dries down to get a bit more tuberosy, definitely, when I first sprayed this, it really reminded me of Diptyque Eau Moheli. So not this one, but one that I have that's like that one's got ginger and black pepper, but it's like a kind of sheer ylang ylang, like a tangy sheer ylang ylang perfume, and this really smelt like that. It really reminded me of it. Now I do think that Eau Moheli, when it says that there are also floral notes in that, so it's got like ylang ylang and then floral notes, I'm pretty sure there's tuberose in that one as well. So this one really gave me a little bit of that vibe. It made me think very much of Eau Moheli, I think. I never know how to say it. But it's nice because this one is a more affordable alternative to that. So the notes in Joyphoria by Charlotte Tilbury are coconut water, neroli and petitgrain, middle notes of tuberose, ylang ylang and jasmine, base notes vanilla bean, cashmere, wood musk and powdery notes. So it has the same kind of ylang. It's got a tanginess going on that is kind of unexplained here because it doesn't have anything like spicy or fruity, but it's got a coconut water that's giving it a kind of watery sheer quality, which is nice. I don't find it I didn't find this one massively coconutty, to be honest. A little bit, but not massively. I didn't find it particularly vanillic, and that's interesting because it's been compared to some things that are quite vanillic, but maybe this has a aroma chemical in that's supposed to be vanilla-y, but I can't smell it. Like, I do get that sometimes. It starts off being more ylang ylang, and then it goes, by the deep dry down, it's more tuberosy. But it definitely reminds me a little bit of that. And there's something about, again, it could be aroma chemicals that are just coming across to me as being spicy, but it is reminding me of the spiciness that I get in Moheli, which is, I think is it pink pepper or black pepper? I can't remember, but it's pepper and ginger. So that one's got a real warm spice, even though it's got like a very fresh and sheer smelling floral with a very kind of watery feel to it in general. There's not coconut water in that one, but it does have a slightly watery feel, which I really like. So yeah, it just was interesting. It really reminded me of that one. And then the more it dried down, the more it smelled a little bit like, it's called Rio Radiance, which is that Sol de Janeiro body spray. That was ylang ylang tuberose. I don't know if there's a sand note or something in that, but it's got like a kind of slightly beachy smell. I couldn't deal with that one just because it turned a bit lotiony to me. This one I think is maybe less lotiony, but it's like a really pretty sheer sunshiny floral ylang ylang tuberose. Like I said, I feel like there's something tangy in it that's unexplained. But so this one is compared to Alien Goddess Intense by Mugler. And I've smelled Alien Goddess, and you won't be surprised to hear, because I have a sample of that. I really don't like that perfume. Oh gosh, thinking of it makes me feel strange. It's very overpowering, overwhelming, very sweet, just not my vibe at all. And I really don't think I actually like beachy, lotiony perfumes very much at all. But I don't really know Goddess Intense and how different that smells. But it says there's a jasmine tea note, so maybe that one isn't quite as thick and vanilla-y and cloying. I don't know. But that one has benzoin. And I find that benzoin smells a bit warm, spicy. So I'm definitely getting a warm, spicy feel from this. Anyway, I've been talking for ages and I'm going to stop the video here before I carry on going. So I'll get that out of the way. But this is what I wore and that is what I smelt. I have, like I said, I just bought a bunch of things from Small Aromas, so I'll have to do a little review video of samples of like hyped up perfumes and, you know, tell you what I think about them and whether I think that there's good alternatives. But let me know if you have any of these. Let me know what you've been wearing this week. And I hope you're all having a beautiful summer. I'm very busy at work at the moment, but it's only a short period of time till I have a bit of time off, and I will make some more videos and I will get some good rest. And and now I'm off to have another rest now because I've got a quiet weekend. So I hope you all have had a lovely weekend. Come back and watch the next part of my Jean Arthur's haul, part 2 on Wednesday. And I'll see you guys next Sunday. Bye!